Earlier in the month, Twitter users with too much time on their hands were upset at Mori because she covered a song. Yeah, that's very, very upsetting. Well, at least if you're a very insecure Twitter user with too much time on your hands. Oh, speaking of which, I now present this person.
I don't know why VTubers who can't sing automatically assume they can just rap to make music. Like, maybe let's not make music at all. Just a thought.
So as you can see, they got over 4,000 likes, and that take was made around the same time, like I said earlier in the month, when people were complaining about Mori's cover. And as people would point out in the comments, it's pretty clear that the OP is talking about Mori. They would later say,
"This is actually kind of gaining traction, and I'm scared of I know who fans, so I will mute and pretend I never tweeted this."
Getting a response that reads, "Because you can't stand by what you said." Now, the reason I want to talk about this is because I would like to raise a point that you may or may not agree with. However, you may also find immense value in. We're going to talk about criticism. My aunties would often try and say that I can't take criticism. This is clearly false, as the evidence is that I'm here right now recording this video. Let me elaborate. Every single day I'm on Twitter seeing what's going on and what news tips and other things people send me. That also includes seeing criticism and overt hate and lies directed at me every single day. I'm very used to this. Not just on Twitter, these things have been going on other social media sites, and people even make YouTube videos lying about me using fake screenshots, the whole 9 yards. If I could not take criticism, I would have stopped doing this a long time ago. Now let's tie this brief criticism talk into the tweet about Mori. All too often I see people try and frame overt lies and smears as criticism. And all too often I also see people claim that someone can't take criticism because they didn't apply said criticism to the subject matter. Let me elaborate some more. If someone criticizes you, you can listen to it, and that is taking the criticism. However, you are not obligated to apply it, especially if the person criticizing you is not in a position that you want to be in. For example, if you're running a business, just doing your thing, and someone who has never ran a business and even has no idea of how a business in the line of work that you're in works, why would you possibly apply their criticism? Again, it's one thing to listen to it. It's another to apply it. Doing what someone tells you when they are not as successful as you seems like a bad move. Ask yourself, do you want to end up like the person criticizing you? In some cases, you might, and you may apply the criticism and find value in it. In others, you may take the criticism and decide it has no value at all, and that applying it would actually be the wrong move. Now, of course, there are caveats, and this is a bit of a generalization. It's not impossible for someone who is not on your level for whatever thing it may be, whether it's business, school, art, sports, or whatever, to still give you solid criticism. Of course, that's possible. The point is simply that in general, it is important to know when to apply criticism and when to decide that it has no merit and should not be applied, especially in this day and age where there is so much noise from people who thrive on destroying the creations of others. So keeping all that in mind, and again, you don't have to agree with me, let's read this tweet though one more time.
I don't know why VTubers who can't sing automatically assume they can just rap to make music. Like, maybe let's not make music at all. Just a thought.
If Mori were to apply what people like this tell her to do, even the thousands of them, she would be in a worse spot. She wouldn't be making music at all. Or she could do what she's doing, where her music even gets #1 spots on Japanese iTunes and the entire EP taking the #3 spot. And I'm not saying you gotta like Mori's music. I'm not saying her music is amazing and you have to like it. I'm just saying there's evidence that shows that she is successful at what she does. Conversely, when I take a look at the profile of the person who essentially told Mori that she should stop making music, I can see that they claim to make music in their bio. However, I don't see anything that indicates that they are even 1% as successful as Mori. It really just looks like a jealous, insecure person taking a jab at Mori, and 4,000 or so people just like that agreeing. I'll leave you guys with this, a quote from Ranking of Kings. From the character Despot. There will always be people who look down upon you no matter what you might accomplish. Will you doubt yourself and look at the ground, or will you meet their gaze?